Hi Anti-Society, welcome back to the Anti-Social Planet, and today we are checking out Set Me Free by Twice, and I know that I should be going through their discography chronologically, and I will get to that, I promise, but I just keep getting recommended stuff about this comeback, and I tried to put it off for as long as possible. I was really trying to hold out and like, no, I'm gonna do it chronologically because that's what people have told me to do, and I just can't. I have to be part of this moment. So we're gonna check out this comeback, this single, because I've already heard one of them already, and then the album, and then I promise we'll get back to doing it chronologically because I do want to see how they have grown as artists and things, but I'm too excited. So we are going to listen to the song first, go through the lyrics and listen to the production and the vocals and things like that so I don't get overwhelmed, and then we will check out the music video, which will probably have things that I don't understand, but it'll be great to just see them because I'm in too deep now. So let's check out this song. Let's see what they have to offer. I feel some intense vibes from the aesthetic so far. I'm assuming that these are either photos from the album or the MV, but it seems a little bit intense to me. Let's hear the song. Ooh. Oh, I'm already in. This sounds fun. Okay, no, this has already got me moving. I already am into this, that like synth sound with the like clap going on. I like that I'm not gonna settle because you shouldn't. There's also a little bit of effect on the vocal, I think, which is like interesting. It's not like a normal effect that I would think of on a vocal. Should just listen to more of it. Ooh, fun little note there. I feel like almost the effect on it is to like sharpen it, and not necessarily like auto-tune as people would think. And don't get mad at me for bringing up auto-tune. People get touchy about it and I'm like, it's really not that big of a deal. Everybody uses auto-tune when they record music. It's just to varying degrees because it is much cheaper to nudge notes into place than to spend a bunch of time re-recording things. But for this one, it feels like they're almost sharpening like the edges of words and phrases and stuff, which is like they're like cutting off part of the onset of it so you don't get like breaths and you don't get whatever onsets there might be in the way that they're pronouncing something. So you get it a lot with M and N sounds, so like nasal sounds, because it's kind of like a humming instead of like opening up your mouth and making a sound. So you'll get it a lot of times where you'll get a right? Like you'll get more of a humming sound with an M before you actually open up your mouth and get to the vowel that's like the actual sound that most people hear. So I feel like it's almost like they're doing that and kind of cutting off the end of it. It just like sharpens up those phrases a lot. I like it though. It's groovy and it's powerful. Kind of here for it. And I liked the note at the end of this part. Little vocal round down. Love a little vocal slide. Ooh. No, this is groovy. Like it even has like almost like 70s feel to it. I loved the way that we went into the chorus. This song is a bop. I'm already obsessed. I'm already like, I'm gonna be listening to this a lot. A little run at the end. The bass in this though. They're just throwing little vocal runs at the end of phrases and like in the background, and I'm here for it. I love little parts where they kind of flip up into a note. Like there's just lots of little fun vocal moments, but they're not doing anything over the top. It's just, like I said, like little fun little textures into it where they're like, I'm gonna put a little bit of vocal around at the end of this phrase. I'm gonna just flip up, you know, in the middle of this word, you know, just to add a little something into it. And I love that. It's so funky. This is gonna be a fun music video. I can feel it. I love the words like a waterfall. the bass in this. I love bass. Okay, my favorite instruments in any production is drums, closely followed by bass, and it's so good in this. I'm getting distracted. Sure, just go for it. Like I was saying before about them not doing anything like super like showy over the top, but that was like a little bit more, right? We had little flourishes here and there with the vocals, and then at that point it was like, let's add a little more into it, a little more oomph into what we're doing. And I love that we're kind of ramping it up a little bit more, especially since we're talking about like, you know, setting yourself free or like feeling like you're not going to settle. It's kind of like this empowerment of this person or these people that you're associating yourself with, making you feel more like yourself, more in your own, feeling like you don't have to fit into a mold or anything. You can just genuinely be yourself. So I love that as the song progresses, we're getting more confidence in the vocals, right? We're getting more things happening. It's not as tentative of like, let me add a little something that shows my own texture as a singer, but like not too much. And then as we're getting into the second verse, we're getting more and more of that where they get to like push that a little bit more because they're feeling more comfortable in their skin. Beautifully done. Love the double vocals, beautifully done. And I also love how they're having more of them like kind of singing together or having like someone else doing like ad-libs or doubling up on the vocal line and stuff like that, because it makes them feel more like a collective, which almost makes me feel like maybe some of this is talking about them together as a group, because we were talking about like someone who is like empowering them, setting them free, making them feel like they can be free. I feel like some of that might have to do with like them as a group towards like each other as members of that group, because as they're coming more together and layering up those vocals, they feel more like a collective and they're more powerful together, right? And I feel like some of it could also be fans. I feel like even maybe in a cheeky way, it's people who might have doubted them, because I feel like taking people's criticism or people sending negativity towards you and taking that and turning it into something that makes you stronger is like one of the best things that you can do, right? If people send you criticism, warranted or unwarranted, and then you take that criticism and you go, okay, how can I prove them wrong? Maybe it's just my competitive nature, because someone tells me I can't do something. I'm like, oh, I'm going to be the best person who's ever done this thing because you've told me I can't. So maybe that's some of me projecting, but it does feel like the more people get involved in the vocals and the production, the stronger it feels, right? So I almost feel like the more they're together, the more the group members are together, the more fans that they collect together, the more powerful they are because they're that collective sound. I love all the synths in the back too. That ad-lib though. See, even that lyric where it talked about like you bring out the best in me, like that can be people around you who are supportive. So that could be the members, that could be fans, that could be staff that they've had, friends along the way, whoever it is that supported them. But it can also be people who have like doubted you, right? Because when people give you criticism, when people are constantly looking for things to find the negative, to find the flaw in you, you're making sure that you fix those flaws or grow from those flaws so you become better because you have so many people like trying to tear you down. And some of that could be like overwhelming because, you know, to a certain point it's like too much, you know, too many eyes on you that are like critiquing everything that you're doing. But I feel like if people like expect you to be absolutely perfect, and anytime that you make a mistake, it's like they pull it on that, right? Because they want you to make a mistake. They want to see you trip up. It means that you just have more of an incentive to work and get better, right? So I feel like there could be two sides to this. Like there's the genuine you bring out the best of me, and then there's kind of that cheeky side of like thank you for bringing out the best of me. Like I feel like there could be two ways, because for a group like them who's been around for so long and have so much popularity, there's definitely people who have just been like, let me find even the smallest thing and I am going to make it a big deal because I see it as a flaw, and I'm looking for that. I'm definitely adding this to a playlist. See, I want all eyes on me. See, I'm like, I want all eyes on me. I feel like that might be the line of like, I want all of your eyes on me. I want everybody's attention because you're going to be looking for something to critique me on, but I'm actually like too good for that, right? See? You might make a couple mistakes. I think I'm onto something of like the cheeky side of it. I feel like there may be some moments where it's genuinely like, you know, feeling set free because you have support and you have like people who are like fans of you and like legitimately care about you doing well. But then that whole thing of like, I want all of your eyes on me because you're gonna see like even this, like when we touch, everyone can see that I would be set free, of like that idea of like we're gonna reach everyone, like we're going to affect people and make them feel what we're trying to communicate, and you're gonna see that regardless of what mistakes you think I've made. I like it. I'm gonna peg you straight, no matter what they say. all my life. Ooh, I love that cadence though. That like cadence, like it was kind of slower with this part. Who I don't always want to say like who's singing what parts, because sometimes the lyric videos are not correct on that part. But for this part where it was a little bit slowed down, a little bit more, I don't know, confidence to it, because you feel like you don't have to say a whole lot, right? But then it sped up and it was a lot more like hard driving of like, I don't know, there's something more like aggressive in that, and I feel like maybe that may be seen as like a negative connotation, but I think it's warranted of this, of like being assertive, right? Isn't Feel Special a song? The vocals in the back though. Ooh, the vocals in the back. See, it's like there's way more ad-libs and things happening. I'm like, they're stronger when they're together. And I love how they did that sonically, of like, it was kind of every once in a while there would be like a little something in the back, and then the second verse happened and there was a little bit more. We even had like double vocals happening. And then this part at like the final chorus, tons of ad-libs. Everybody is kind of joining in. I'm assuming it might be one person doing it. I'm sure that people will tell me in the comments who probably is doing all of that. I mean, I guess they've done live performances. You might be able to see who's doing what ad-libs, but all of that happening together, of like, they're stronger when they all sing together, when they all work together. And I love that. It's this huge wall of sound in the song, and it's great for like that climax up of the song, but it's also great to mimic that idea of them singing together, them being together is too strong for anyone to really take them on. Ugh, the bass though. That was so much fun. Oh, I love it. I love the confidence. I love the way that they chose to arrange it all. There's some nice lyrical moments, changes in the cadence and stuff. Just like, so good. I know exactly what playlist I'm putting this on. I'm listening to it on repeat, which is kind of what happened after like Ua anyway. I don't want to tell you how many times I've heard that song, but it's a lot. It's a lot of times, and I've just sang it randomly in my life. It's kind of becoming an issue. I'm actually kind of concerned. But I'm so excited to see the music video because I think it'll be so much fun, and to see a dance practice, because if I was bopping along with like a couple of seconds in, I can only imagine what the actual choreo is gonna be. So let's check out the MV first before I get too excited. Let's watch the MV. Ooh. I'm definitely gonna end up pausing a lot because music videos get to me. Okay, it's the 12th mini album, One in a Million, once through the ears and once through the eyes. I feel like that might be a reference because once is their fandom name. Is that a reference to something specific? A lyric maybe? Wasn't 2015 10 isn't October 2015, wasn't that their debut? Tell me the references if I didn't get them all. Oh, okay, I paused right before something happened. Ooh. The lip ring though. Wait, who's driving? Ooh, that image of being like locked in the spotlight though, like that's such a cool image, but also kind of sad because they've been performing for a long time. So the idea of like feeling trapped like in a spotlight feels so poignant to like being famous and like being that successful, because even though it's something that you want, right? Like if you're training that long to be an idol and to debut and all that kind of stuff, obviously you want people to like hear your music and see you and get to perform and have fans and that kind of a thing, but it's also a lot to like constantly have that spotlight on you. Like I was saying, like lots of eyes on you critiquing everything that you do. Even like it can be fans, because fans like get worried, right? Sometimes we see things, we notice things, and we think, hang on, is something happening, and we just don't know about it, and it's because we're a place of concern, but it could also be like misplaced, and they're just it's just like something happened, or it's like weird lighting, or it's like they were just having a day or where they were not feeling their best, not being what they wanted to be in that moment, but they had to perform or be on camera or whatever. It can be people criticizing them who are just constantly looking for any little thing. It can be the company making sure that they're like the idols that they want them to be. Like it can be so many things. And I love that we had the lyric of, I've been hiding how I feel. I feel like that's something that probably happens a lot in the spotlight, of like you don't get to actually communicate what you're feeling because you have to be on, you have to be a performer. I'm already loving some of the imagery going on. Ooh. Ooh, I like that too. Like it's almost like all the mirrors, but also kind of like this princess look. The pearls are like very classic. I kind of think of pearls as like more preserved time, like a time when people were kind of less vocal about things, especially women. Pearls I see as more of like a classic thing, right? Something from an era gone by. Like I think of like my grandma when I think of pearls, because she loved pearls, but also they were like a huge like accessory at the time in like the like 50s and 60s and stuff like that. So women specifically not always being able to say what they want, but they had to look a certain way and live up to that expectation. And then the idea of like breaking those, of like breaking something that symbolizes like fitting in to the mold regardless of what you want to say, especially something around the neck too, of them talking about how they're going to like say how they're feeling and not be held back anymore. So like tons and tons of like great imagery in this already. You can see the chains too. It's like breaking that like perfect image. See, these outfits very different from the like dress. Ooh, I think it's very interesting to have them talking about that and then have one of the members in charge of like a camera, because like I was saying, sometimes they had to be on camera regardless of how they were feeling because they had to perform or they had to do something that they had signed on for, and they don't always have control of what they look like and all of that, right? Like what happens with that footage that is filmed, because it's not necessarily something that they personally have control over. So the idea of them having control of the camera feels very symbolic. I don't know a ton about the group of like what they have gone through over the years that might be symbolic in that. I'm sure that there are stories that have happened. Like I said, they've been performing for a while, and they're popular enough that I'm sure they have run into plenty of issues over the years of people not treating them the best. So I just think it's really poignant to have one of the members in charge of the camera. Ooh, that image though. All the like ropes. That was so cool. With the like fire on them. And again, that going from the dress to something a little bit more, I don't know, modern, right? Like kind of the classic gown. And then you have something more modern, like what they're doing when they're dancing, where it's like jeans and it's more like sports jackets and that kind of a thing. Even the like piercings, like I talked about like the lip ring, we had like the eyebrow piercing as well at some point. So it's like not, it almost feels like them not being trapped in kind of the past ideal of like the image that they was like pushed onto them, if that makes sense, right? Like there's this idea that, especially with women over the years, and I won't get too into the politics of all of that, but women specifically, there's like a very specific image that has been expected of women for a very long time. It's only been in more recent years where that has been something that has been challenged and it has started to shift a lot. So I love the idea of taking kind of these classic images, almost like older movie stars, and I was saying almost like princesses, fantasy kind of look to them, and then breaking free from that image into something more powerful and something more modern. The smile too. Are we taking off makeup? Oh my goodness, the scandal. We love the power walk too. Even that seems more like modern, like when they're in this like wasteland. This part, like it seems more like futuristic or like sci-fi and stuff like that. I really love that contrast between those two, and the idea of like them, like I was saying, even in the lyrics, going through the lyrics and the music before, of them like banding together. Like we had Nahyang like showing up and being like, let me fix you up, we're gonna leave here together, we're gonna power walk down that hallway, and them all coming together. And I love that. I love the idea of them being there for each other, and it being something that, you know, they may go through things, but they're gonna stick up for each other. And like, you know, you make me want to risk it all, is like we can do this because we have each other. Even if everyone else doubts us, even if everyone else is against us, we're together, so bring it on. Gosh, who knows film anymore? Ooh, cool shoulder move. The like chest isolation. Oh, the dance practice is gonna be something I have to check out. What just fell? Oh, okay. Things are falling in general. Oh, see, because like this looks like a set, in my opinion. You're like being on like a film set, because you can see like some of the lights set up to like light the scene, and then some of the like scaffolding in the back, and it's like falling apart. So it's almost, it's like, sorry, I saw graffiti and I thought the like UA video, because they had like all the graffiti when they were in like the abandoned school and stuff. Anyway, I'm not gonna try and make references to things that they've done in the past, because I probably will get it wrong because I don't know most of it. But the idea of like this set falling down, I think of it as two ways. Of like, one, taking down maybe the persona that they felt like they needed to put up, because we do have them talking about like, I haven't been able to say how I felt, and now I'm going to do that. Like, I'm going to be more genuine. So it's almost like, let's take down this like facade, this set, this artificial way that I've had of presenting myself, and it's going to be more genuine now. Or it could also be this idea of, you know, breaking down some of the entertainment industry, right? Like I was saying before, like being trapped in the spotlight and feeling like you have to conform to a certain image. And now it's like, okay, let's take that apart now. Like, see the scaffolding, you know, see the fact that this is all fake and put together. And even though there are parts of it that are real and genuine, there's just so much mixed into it that isn't, that is just the show, the entertainment. Let's take that down and let's actually have a genuine moment where we see it for what it is. Ooh, they're like watching the film too. I feel like there's so many things in this, but I won't know all of it. I think there's a bunch of song titles because we have Make Me Feel Special. Is Eyes Wide Open one of theirs? Crazy Stupid Love maybe? We have Ready to Be, which is their album. I feel like there are probably a bunch of references in this. I will get it eventually. Someday I will know all of the things. But until then. Is that where we're ending? Okay, good. I was like, I need more closure. Ooh. And then I was saying before, but like how we're like breaking down like the set and everything, and then at the beginning we did have the old like movie theater exploding, so it's like we're having a full circle moment with the idea of like out with the old, in with the new, right? Like it was not only like a movie theater, and I mean, how many of us actually go to movie theaters anymore? I mean, I don't know about you, but I had a bunch of social anxiety before it became something that might be detrimental to my health. So now I'm like, what are public spaces? I can just watch it in my own living room and be perfectly happy. But it's also like an older looking movie theater, like the way that it's set up, and then you have like the sound of the film and things like that. And even we had, someone had the actual film, like the reels. I'm still learning faces and names, but someone did. So it's all of these images of like this past in entertainment, right? Of like older movies, like I was saying, like the pearls and the dress and things like that, very much seeming like old Hollywood. And then now them like literally destroying that, blowing it up and doing their own thing. I love that. It's almost like post-credits too. Look how happy they look though. Everyone loves a little pyro. Ooh, that little skip move too. Like I was saying, like they seem really happy, and then like that little skip where they're all together. I mean, that seems like literally like skipping for joy. It's so cute. I'm definitely checking out a dance practice. I just have to. Ooh, not to like end right away, but I love at the end where they have like suit jackets and things too. Like I was saying before about these very like classic feminine images that they had with the outfits and things like that, and how it shifted in something more modern. And then now we have like the suit jackets and things like that that are more traditionally masculine, but also like business. Like it's one of those things of being taken seriously, right? And I feel like that's super important. Like they are entertainers, yes, but this is also their job. They're professionals at the same time. And they should be taken seriously regardless of the fact that they're women, regardless of the fact that they are a K-pop girl group. They should be taken seriously. They are professionals. They've been doing this for a long time and they're very good at it. So I love getting that shift into something that is more of a traditional masculine mixed with these feminine silhouettes, and them really like embodying that professionalism, but also like femininity at the same time. Also, what's the bite to the wrist? Is that important? Should I know what that is? I don't know. But super fun all round, and loved a bunch of the imagery in that. So in case you didn't pick up on it, I absolutely loved that song and their performance of it, their interpretation of it. I loved that it was a little bit cheeky. I loved it was super fun. I loved that we had a bunch of classic like imagery in the music video, but also like more retro sounds in the song itself. And now that I'm thinking about it, I said before that it had a very like 70s feeling to some of the music in it, and the 70s were like a super liberating time, at least in the West. I don't know, it was probably very different in Korea because there were some wars happening and things like that, but in entertainment in the 70s in the West, it was a super liberating time, specifically for women, and there were tons of things that were being like challenged, protests and things being performed and things like that. So maybe there's a connection there as well. But super fun song. I love getting to see them confident and banding together, and there are probably tons of references in that I don't know. I'm assuming that they were referencing to a lot of their past work to say, look how we've grown, look how we're doing something else now. I do maybe know a little bit of it because I do know some of little bits of their songs here and there, and I have seen their debut, so like maybe, I'm sure people will let me know. And I'm sure I will get it eventually, so if it's something that might spoil something in the future, I ask please don't comment it so that I can avoid it, and I'll figure it out, I promise. I do occasionally remember things, it kind of depends, but I feel like I will be watching this music video again because it's so much fun. Definitely adding this song to a playlist so I can hear it, and like we're definitely doing dance practices, live performances. Those will be on Patreon though if you want to check them out, link in the description, but all of the things. And I'm so excited to get to the rest of this album and this comeback now because I don't know what the sound's gonna be, but I need to know. So I hope you enjoyed watching that along with me. You can click this playlist to see my previous reactions, or you can subscribe so this next time I post a twice reaction, and I will see you in the next video. Bye!